Hello, and welcome to the Washwood Heath Multi-Academy Trust How to Use Microsoft Teams series. In episode 5 today, we're going to look at the different types of lessons students will do on Microsoft Teams, and also look at how they can be accessed via the calendar feature on Microsoft Teams. Now, as usual, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen for you so you can see how it would appear in real life. So, the first thing students will need to do, as usual, is they will need to log on to Microsoft Teams via one of the different methods that you can use. This can be found in episode 1 of our Microsoft Teams series. Once the students have logged in to Microsoft Teams, they will need to go to the calendar feature on the left-hand toolbar here. What will then appear is on the calendar, on the student's calendar, all of the lessons will appear Monday to Friday. All of the lessons they would normally have would appear on here. Here at Saltley Academy, the students either do live lessons on Microsoft Teams, they do recorded lessons, or they do student independent study lessons. And as I've said, they'll all appear here in accordance with their timetable. For at Saltley Academy, the first lesson Monday to Friday will be 9 till 10. The second lesson will be 10 till 11. Okay. The third lesson will be 11 till 12. There'll then be a 30-minute lunch break, and then the fourth lesson will be 12:30 till 1:30, and the final lesson 1:30 till 2:30 p.m. For the benefit of this tutorial, you'll see there are lessons on the Sunday. Obviously, students' lessons will only be Monday to Friday, in accordance with the timetable I've just said at Saltley Academy. Now, as the students go through, they will see that teachers will signpost clearly the class, the subject, the date, as well as the time that lesson would take place, and it would clearly indicate whether it is a live lesson or a recorded lesson or a student independent study lesson. As we can see here for the maths lesson, that is a live lesson. So what students would need to do is at that time, as is shown down in the science one here, students would need to click the join button and then join that lesson. Okay, they'll then go into the lobby. The teacher will let them in, and then they'll be able to attend that live lesson. We can also see another live lesson here, and we can then also see now there is a recorded lesson for English. Now, for recorded lessons, what students will have to do is they click the icon. Okay, in the box here, it will give clear information about whether the recorded lesson requires students to attend the recorded lesson in Microsoft Teams itself by clicking the join button, and then the lesson that's recorded will then play, or it will give a link that students will need to click to basically access the recorded lesson. Or for recorded lessons, students would need to go to the Teams icon. Then they would then need to click the class, so like 11CT1 here. They would then go to the Files section, and then they'd go either to Class Materials or the Lesson Materials box. And then the recorded PowerPoint or recorded lesson can be found in the lesson folder that particular recorded lesson is in. So, for example, just to say, if the lesson was on Wednesday the 20th of January and it was a recorded lesson, students would click that folder, download the PowerPoint here, and then once they've downloaded it and entered slideshow format, they'd be able then to listen to the recorded PowerPoint as well. You will also see that students will not only do live lessons, they will not only do recorded PowerPoint lessons or recorded lessons, they will also do, as is indicated here for science, students' independent study lessons. Now, for these lessons, students need to click the box, okay, and it will give clear instructions here on what it is they will need to do in that particular lesson. For these lessons, they do not need to join the live lesson or the lesson, because it's an independent study lesson. So it doesn't require students to click the join button and then enter a lesson as they would normally do for a live lesson or potentially for a recorded lesson. It would instead, they would just have to read the instructions here, and there'll either be a link that they have to follow to complete the work, or again, they would go to Teams app on the left hand side. They would click then the class, so 11CT1 in this case, and they would then go to Files, and then either class materials or lesson materials, depending on what their teacher has set out. And then they'll be able to find the work, obviously, in the lesson that it should be in. Okay? Which is what it should be in. Now, just to be absolutely clear again, there are 3 types of lessons that students will have on Microsoft Teams here. They'll either be live lessons where students click the join button, as is indicated here. They click the join button, and then they'll go into the lobby and be accepted by the teacher and allowed to enter the lesson. And they have the live lesson in Microsoft Teams. They might have a recorded lesson where they either have to click a link in the box, or they might even enter the lesson by clicking join, and the PowerPoint or the lesson will then play as they join in, or they go via the Teams section and go to the class and then click files. Or students will do, as is in this science lesson case, they'll have a student's independent study lesson where they'll have to either click the link on the box, as I've said, or they'll go to the file, they'll go to Teams here, click the class, and again we'll go to the files section to get the work they need to do for that particular lesson. The final thing I just want to reiterate is that on the student calendar, as I've got here for Saltley Academy students, you will see that for Monday to Friday, how it appears on the Sunday here with 5 lessons, will how it will appear every single day for you. So regardless of whether a lesson is a live lesson, recorded lesson, or a student's independent study lesson, teachers will schedule the lessons into your calendars. So you should every day have a lessons 9 till 10, 10 till 11, 11 till 12, 12:30 till 1:30 and 1:30 till 2:30 p.m. and they should appear here. Obviously, you wouldn't have any on a Saturday or a Sunday as shown on this video, but it's just for the nature of the video tutorial that we're doing. Okay. If you have any queries about the calendar or the way the lessons have been set up, you are welcome to call Saltley Academy or email us on inquiries for any questions that you've got. I'm now going to go back to my PowerPoint. So, in the Washford Heath Multi Academy Trust How to Use Microsoft Teams series, in this episode we have focused on the different types of lessons students will do on Microsoft Teams. I've also gone through how they can access these through the calendar icon on the left-hand side toolbar of Microsoft Teams. And just to be absolutely clear, students either do live lessons, they'll either do recorded lessons, or they will also do independent study work lessons as well. We hope you found the webinar useful. Thank you again.